A very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining our Homeopathy 24/7 podcast. We are going to be speaking to an array of international guests who will share their knowledge and experiences of homeopathy with you. We will discuss all types of subjects such as remedies, symptoms, and stories of health. No matter where you are with your homeopathic journey, we aim to inspire you on your quest to natural health and living. The podcast is brought to you by Mary Greensmith, the founder of Homeopathy 24/7, which is a global platform connecting you with a homeopath wherever you are in the world, 24 hours a day. So let's get started with today's chat. Please welcome Mary Greensmith.
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's so lovely to see you. And thank you to Barbara Hanachova, who has joined us again. Barbara, you're one of our homeopaths on Homeopathy 24/7. It's lovely to see you.
Hi, Mary. It's lovely to see you too.
And we are going with our remedies this month. So you have chosen Baryta Carbonica, which happens to be one of my very favorite ever remedies. So tell me, why have you chosen this remedy? Why does it appeal to you?
Well, because I work a lot with children and mainly children that have various complex conditions like autism, ADHD, but other things, eczema, things like that as well. And for these children, Baryta is a really lovely remedy that is often called for in these circumstances. And it's a very, I'd say, very gentle, very nice remedy. I see the remedy itself as a little child, if that makes sense. So, it's just a nice remedy to talk about, really.
It is, and I totally get your sentiment, because we get really attached to our remedies, don't we? And it is like a little child, and kind of sometimes you think, oh, I really want to give you Baryta Carb, because I find it's not necessarily a huge constitutional remedy, but it's quite often an opening remedy, isn't it? It's quite often a remedy that people need first so that we can see much deeper.
Yes, definitely. I've given it a few times as a first remedy to see what I can find, let's say, underneath, or what it can open up for us, and which way will it lead us going forwards. And it is also a nice concurrent remedy that you give it alongside a miasmatic, for example, to kind of support the child on different levels, so to speak. So yeah, it's quite universal in the way of how you can prescribe it and use it.
And you mentioned that it's a gentle remedy, and I think you're absolutely right. We don't often see any reaction or flare of symptoms with Baryta Carb, do we? It just kind of chills.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it, but to me it feels like I might sound really silly here, but it feels like a little cloud that kind of carries the child. And supports them, because often these children that need Baryta are quite shy and insecure and like timid. So the remedy can kind of hold them, support them, carry them for a bit to kind of boost their confidence a little bit and help them open up, step outside of their shell a little bit, which then helps us to see sort of beyond and underneath and navigate which way to go with the treatment next.
It's very much an emotional remedy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mostly prescribed on the sort of mental emotional symptoms or characteristics. It does have some physicals as well, but yes, it is mostly known for the mental emotional support. And although we are talking about children here a lot with Baryta. It can be used for older kids, for adults, and it's very nice for elderly as well, who have that cognitive development, cognitive like decline, like maybe dementia or, things like that, where they become a little bit childish, resembling that little child. Then, it can be a really good remedy for them as well.
With this in mind, it's not really your average remedy that is in all of your first aid kits, is it? It's a remedy that is given for more chronic situations, because it's not a remedy for something that has just been here for a week or two. It's something that is very much ongoing and part of a whole emotional state, as you said.
Yes, 100%. It's more chronic, more like longer term issues, like as I think I mentioned, like the developmental delay, for example. That's not something that happens over the time. That's something that, has been happening for months or years, when the child has delayed milestones, or, they are late speakers, late walkers, or whatever you want to call it. And you also can't kind of undo these things or change these things overnight. So it needs a bit of help, bit of support over time, right? You cannot develop the child over the night, so they need that. It's like internal process, so they need time to process this, and the vital force, the body needs to kind of catch up with itself, basically. So it takes time, and Baryta is really nice remedy for that, because it can support the body to give it that time, to allow it to use that time and move forwards in a gentle, kind of peaceful manner.
Yes, yeah. Let's talk about some of those symptoms, why we might consider Baryta. What is it that is leading us to think about Baryta Carb?
So as I said, the main one is some sort of delay in the development. And it can be physical development, can be mental development. There could be slow learning. There could be, in the elderly, for example, there could be even decline of their physical strength. So they're becoming weaker. Intellectual immaturity or intellectual decline in the older people, for example. As I said, children not meeting milestones, such as their learning late to walk and talk late, things like that. So it's the delay in development.
Okay. And also, it's a huge confidence remedy, isn't it? For children who are nervous, for children who are not interacting very well, who find it, they become anxious when going out of the house or talking with others.
Yes, that's another quite key characteristic, that the children are, as you said, shy, timid, and they want to stay at home close to mom. They don't like going outside, even if they go with mom to visit, let's say, grandparents. They just don't like that change of the known environment, because that makes them a little bit more anxious. That like, and more so if they don't know where they're going, if they don't understand, the change from the known to sort of unknown can be problematic for them.
Okay. I also find that children needing Baryta Carb are very, very sensitive to loud noises. And one of the questions I quite often ask is, how are they in public lavatories with the noise of the hand dryer. Because that's quite often a telltale sign, isn't it?
That's very true. That's actually a really clever question to ask. I never thought about it. Thank you. But yeah, that's very true. The sound sensitivity can be a big one. Even like at home, Hoover or a juicer or something like that. I had a little girl. Well, little, yeah, she was 6, so she's now probably about 8. When I started working with her, and this was a big thing for her. So mom said that she can't do any cleaning with Hoover or anything like that if the girl is at home.
Yeah.
So usually the situation was that mom takes the girl because she was very attached to her mom. She wouldn't go out easily with anyone else. So mom would take her to the park or something while dad would hoover the whole flat, so that, you know, she is fine. And when they traveled somewhere with her, she needed to wear the headphones, earmuffs, so that she can cope easier. But yes, the hand dryers, that's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. And there aren't many remedies that come up with fear of hand dryers, fear of that.
Yeah, even with the sound sensitivity, I think there is many more remedies for light sensitivity, for example, than the loud noises. So yeah, it's not as like easy to find remedies for this particular symptom.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the changes that we see when we give somebody a Baryta carb, because as I said, it's just the most amazing remedy that actually gives people confidence and allows them to be less shy, because that's life changing, isn't it? It's just like, you know, a magic pill that allows them to be less fearful, I guess, of the world, their environment.
Yes, definitely. You're very right, because if the child has this level of fear and shyness and lack of self-confidence, it can be really difficult for the whole family to go anywhere with the child, to even get out of the house. And if you then want to take the child to school or something and leave them there, it can be incredibly stressful for everyone. So with these remedies, with Baryta or maybe some other remedies, it can be really life-changing. For us, it might seem like a little thing, but it can be really massive for these families. And the girl I just mentioned, after she was on Baryta just for a few weeks, she was able to go out even with her father without a problem. It was much easier to go out with her because she wasn't as fearful and she wasn't as like attached to mom, like holding her really strong. And even her teachers commented how she is more sociable with other children, like interacting more with other children, playing. She was non-verbal, so but still the interaction was more. And they said, they even said that it looks like she's coming out of her shell. She plays more. She is happy to go from the classroom outside for the breaks and play outside with other kids. So it was really big thing for the family that they can now like relax a little bit more, at least about one aspect of their life.
That's right. That's right. And I quite often say that it's our job not to make a perfect child, but to help a child be much more comfortable in the environment in which they live. And I think Baryta carb really helps us achieve that, doesn't it?
100%. Yeah. I think that's a very important thing, what you just said, that it's not about making perfect children or curing somebody 100%. It's about helping them kind of optimize their life and the life of their family, and kind of be more confident in the circumstances where they are, being able to kind of maybe live more independently, rather than being so independent on their parents or caregivers, and be, as you said, more confident in their own bodies, in their own environments. So, and not just Baryta Carbonica, but other remedies are really good for this, to help these children, especially the neurodivergent children, to achieve this, to optimize their well-being, basically.
And I know that you work a lot with children with autism and different diagnoses as well. And so this is just one aspect, if you like, where homeopathy can help on so much more than helping, your skin heal from a cut or something like that. And we don't often get the chance to talk about how homeopathy can actually rebalance and address the cause of the symptoms. So can you tell us a little bit more about your work with autism and homeopathy?
Right. Yeah. So, as I said, I work mostly with children with autism, and I look, autism it's a spectrum, so it can look very different for different children. The children that come to me usually are nonverbal. They have lots of behavioral issues going on, from various stimming behaviors through to poop smearing, things like that. They often have lots of issues in terms of eating certain textures, or very limited variability of what they eat. So it's really hard for some of these families how to navigate life with these children, because they have so many sensitivities to sound, to light, to even textures on the skin.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a little boy who would not stand pretty much any clothes on his body.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, in summer, fair enough.
Yes.
But in winter, that's really difficult. And if you want to get the child out of the house,
Yes.
so it can be very, very stressful. And, not to speak about the things like poop smearing and being everywhere and all these things. So, when I work with these families, I always ask them what is the main thing they want help with, because you can't do everything in one go.
No.
Obviously, we do look at the child as a whole with all these aspects.
Yes.
But oftentimes it's about kind of peeling the layers away one by one. So it's about what is the biggest challenge for the family at that point in time, and focusing on that first of all. And then as we go, we can peel other layers off and make it better and better, and see how far we can get. I often, not often, always, I talk with the parents about the food as well, because for all these children and pretty much everybody with any health issue, gut health is like the foundation. So we want to get that right. We want to help the gut heal and absorb the right nutrients, and like be able to digest food properly and all that. So we are looking at that as well. So obviously, if the child has very limited menu, so to speak, we are looking at ways how to improve that, or whatever the child eats, how to get them the best possible version of what they eat, and then build from there, try to introduce step by step other things, try to work on healing the gut with the remedies and some foods that the child would take. And over the time, hopefully, the child will start eating more and more things, get more variety, and that alongside has a big impact as well. We also explore the whole lifestyle of the family. Is there too much screen time? Is there not enough fresh air going outside? All these things. Is there anybody who smokes? What sort of toxins they use at home in terms of cleaning products, body products, and it's about also awareness and educating the families that certain chemicals in these products might not be a problem for us, but for the sensitive children, it can be the thing that is actually constantly triggering them and causing the tantrums and flares and whatnot. So we are exploring these things as well. So it's a very complex, holistic approach from all different angles to see what actually the child, where they are, what they need, and how can we help them. And sometimes it's about working with the parents as well, especially the mothers, because oftentimes the mothers have things going on for themselves, and that can affect the child. So I often treat the mother at the same time. There is usually lots of emotional stuff and unprocessed grief and traumas from pregnancies and births and things like that. So all that needs to be addressed as well, because if that mom has this in her, then her emotional state affects her child as well. And if she's constantly stressed and anxious and she has that unprocessed grief in herself, then it does impact the child, how they are, and it can increase their own anxieties and fears and impact their sleep and all these things. So it is very broad
It is.
way of looking at things.
Yes.
And that is also why in many of these complex cases, the treatment process takes a long time, because there is so many things that need to be adjusted or dealt with and processed. And so it's not something that usually happens overnight. Having said that, I recently had a really lovely case where the child got much better within 2 months.
Yeah.
And that is like very rare.
Yes.
But it just shows what homeopathy can do, and there can be miracles.
I know. I love the fact, though, that you're bringing in actually the relationships, because I think the communication and relationships is a huge thing. And children, however much we try and hide your emotions and feelings and stress, actually, if we can give the parents a remedy as well, it just changes the whole ambience, really, of the whole household, doesn't it? Which makes healing easier for everybody and able to make those changes more quickly. So that was lovely, actually, to hear.
Yeah, thank you. 100%. And I think mostly that goes to like in terms of mothers, how mothers feel, because that kind of affects the whole family.
Yes.
Fathers as well, but I'm finding that it's mostly the mothers.
Yes. Yeah.
Who kind of affect and hold the whole family atmosphere and how everybody is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, if there's one thing you want everybody to take away about Baryta Carbonica, What would you say? What's your favourite aspect about Baryta that everybody should know about?
Oh, wow.
Now you've got to choose. It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard. Wow. Oh, what would that be? I would say that the nicest thing about Baryta is the gentleness and how it can really support the child to open up.
Yes.
And lead us to what needs to be seen next.
Yes. Yeah. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Barbara. It's been lovely talking with you. And always, as always, it's just fantastic and fascinating to hear the different aspects of where we help people and the paths that it leads us down. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary, for having me. It's always amazing talking to you.
Thank you so much, Barbara, for coming in today and talking to us about Baryta Carb. Such a lovely, lovely remedy. Now, next week, I'm going to be talking with Hector Ross about arnica. And arnica and everything about it is just the remedy that you need to know inside out, because there's so much more to arnica than ever you imagined. I look forward to seeing you there. Take care. I do hope you've enjoyed these episodes, and I do hope you can subscribe to our channels. Now, there are various ways for you to listen to our podcast or watch it on video on YouTube. So whether it's iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube, please do subscribe and please do leave us a review. If you leave us a review on these platforms, then more people will see our podcast. We just want more people to share the joy of homeopathy. It's a choice that everybody should know about. Please do everything you can to help us help more people.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and look forward to listening to our next one. Please don't forget to follow our podcast on your chosen channel, and please do leave us a review so we can continue to share homeopathy with as many people as possible. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to us on any of our social platforms mentioned in the show notes. We at Homeopathy 24/7 hope to empower you on your natural health journey.